This is Nurse Honey Babe and Golgan. And we're back playing Disco Elysium. We gotta wait for Golgan because he's chowing down on some gummy bears. Where's your chair?
Alright, you continue where it's supposed to load.
Oh, okay. It's not gonna continue where we left off?
No.
Okay, then I guess you can go back and load.
The last thing I was doing was experimenting.
Okay, did you want to load it then?
We need to make sure that the correct save is loaded.
Why that one?
You never want to go off on autosave because you don't know what it autosaved.
Oh.
Because you know sometimes that autosaves right before something happens.
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts of the game so far?
This game, I know it got a lot of great reviews, but for me it's really hard to get through.
Why?
Because I feel like I have to think really hard in order to get it done.
It's a story where you're investigating. If you don't investigate well, you fail. I want to talk to Kuno East first, see what she says, now that we broke her.
I don't remember how to get her highlighted.
Press L1. Okay. There we go. Okay, just leave. She doesn't have anything to do. Okay, go to the body.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. The belt is still around his neck. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy.
Come on, officer. You know the field of disease. You've done a hell of it.
What you do is, at 18.1 kilometers, the dormant shield corpus wound is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the signal, agreeing this to crack top 20 was the death element of this. But what the field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Okay, hold on. Go to lead.
Why?
Just try it.
I hope we do. It's getting really late.
And then, now click on it again. Remember, before you want to do the active thing, you want to do the information thing. So look. Again. Okay, now watch it. Hold on here. You see? Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot.
Scroll down.
So what?
Do you remember all these?
Yeah.
You remember about love and what killed you in communism?
Yes.
Okay, scroll, go to enough. Oh, nope. Look at that.
What?
Go to number 1, it's not highlighted. You see?
You misquoting me. I said communists killed me. Love did it mean? You really need to learn the physics, buddy. This is embarrassing.
You see how we got experience for it? So it hadn't been done yet, right? We have to be thorough.
Amuse yourself, my friend, and my memento mori futures. If possible, also save dream.
Okay, now go number 1. Your press S and press X.
What you do is
Okay, now here, scroll down.
The Doom and Shield volcano. Corpus
Okay, hold on.
There truly is a time for everything, even if we are gotten alone. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there limited capacity.
Okay, hold on.
What?
You clicked without even looking at the other option.
We did the other option.
No, the other one. Right before this one. It was not highlighted red.
Yes, it was.
I don't think you can tell the difference between bright red and dark red.
We did that one already.
Okay, so
All the way up here.
Okay, scroll down. Before you pick any option, we have to consider what we're doing and why we're doing it, okay? Is that agreed? Because every time I'm about to talk and say something, you just press X. Remember, this game is not press X to continue. It is, why are you going to choose an option and what's going to happen if you choose the other option? Does that make sense?
I thought we were trying to do an autopsy here.
Right, but we need to figure out... He just said to take off your yellow gloves.
Yeah. So I say, alright.
I'll ask you when we do so. For the most part, maybe I should handle contact if they take notes.
Okay, press 1.
That's right.
Okay, now you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Scroll down. So, are you going to take off your yellow gloves for it? Because he asked you to take them off.
I don't know how to do that.
Press square. Let's see, press L2 or R2. Does it let you? Okay, you're going to have to leave it. Press circle. Hit leave. Okay, now take off your gloves.
And
Press
how do
square.
I do that?
Press square. Press R2. Stop. Okay. Now with the direction pad, you're going to go to where the gloves are on his character. Okay. Now press X. Okay. Go up to the, go down to the bag. Press X. Okay. Now go to R1. Let's see if you have any. Go again. Is there a notepad here to take notes to make it more successful? Go L1. Nope, go L1. Okay, go to these. I want to know if one of these is the note. Go to L1. L1. Go to that. Ledger of fill. Equip it. That's your notepad, right?
I guess so.
So you have what you need. Press circle to get out of there. Okay, now you're gonna go to start.
Start.
Yeah.
What's start?
This is start. Nope. That's start. Go to save game. You're gonna click it once. You're gonna scroll down. Scroll down more. This is called save rotation. You see that the date shows when's the last time you saved?
Yes.
You want to go to your oldest save. And then you save over that because we don't need the old save anymore.
This one?
No, where's the oldest save? You see, it always goes in order. The most recent one's always at the top. The most latest one's at the bottom. Once you hit save, that gets moved to the top because it's your latest one. Hit save X. Say confirm. Okay, so now if something happens, if he tells us, oh, we shouldn't have the flashlight on, well, no. Okay, so now go up to him. So I'm assuming this is the best way. We have our light and we have our notepad. So get to the autopsy.
The rotating man lies on it.
Okay. So now, you see, look, open your ledger at the field autopsy form. So now you have your ledger.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in oxys and lists, describing the condition of its skin and organs in three parts. Above those, an 11 field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
Okay, so we should, one is begin one assistance, the other one is let's jump ahead to the 3-part summary. So you don't want to get ahead, you want to start from the beginning and do this right, correct?
That's you.
HDB.
The cause is indifferent to your scribblings. Just lies there. The next box says...
KK57 dash 0803 dot 0815.
What the hell is that?
KK equals Kinshiragi. 57 equals precinct 57, followed by date 0803 and time for arrival 0815 on the scene. He's investigates after himself, not you.
Is that how you do it? You want to have a person?
Because he doesn't want to bring up the missing question of your initials.
Shouldn't we file the corner case under me? Technically, I arrived at the scene before you. Do you want to question him or just write it down?
How did he arrive at the scene first?
He's been here for several days.
No, not Kim. I meant him, the main character.
No, he said, shouldn't we file the coroner's case under me?
Yeah.
Technically, I arrived at the scene before you.
Yeah, but he didn't even remember because he was in a drunken stupor.
Wow, so do you want to question him or do you just want to write down what he...
No, just write it down.
Okay.
Next. NA. Next.
Read these as you're doing them.
NA.
You want to commit it to memory?
Age.
Because we might have to do.
Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to dare on the young side.
Okay. Wait.
What?
Don't press anything. What were you about to select?
I don't know.
Well, why were you about to select something without knowing why you're going to select it?
How do you know I was going to select it?
Because you had that motion in you.
So I just did this.
So, why 42 and why 50?
I don't know.
Why would they give you an option if it doesn't matter?
I don't know.
Why does anything matter in this game?
Because it can get you points.
Okay, so why do you think there's a difference between 42 and 50?
I have no idea.
What is number 50?
I don't know.
Why is 50 an option?
I don't know.
Read above you.
The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. Why
Read
the
above
young
that.
side?
Read above that.
The lieutenant corrects his glasses roughly 50.
And what does visual calculus say?
Try 40.
So who's right? Is Kim right or is visual calculus
I guess
right?
visual calculus.
Because you remember what visual calculus figured out?
What?
The footprints?
He knows.
You're not reading it.
Mondial.
Fair to olive skin from the soul of Moon Lady. This is as plain as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
White-ish.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex.
Male.
Okay, so you want to be serious or do you want to make it a joke?
Nor does he look now with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death.
We're still doing March 4th, 51.
What? Oh, that's right. They write the date
What
or
else?
the day first.
Body identified by
Day, month,
his
year.
number.
Yeah.
10.
Case
Case
number
number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
A strange word. Treatment.
Okay, hold on. Read through these. We don't want to go without getting our points from this.
What exactly is treatment anyway? I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over? Agreed. No treatment. I'm not sure. Oh, excuse me. What's next? No opinion.
Remember that no opinion is the what option?
The boring
Nothing,
cop?
boring option, which means you're not going to get experience for what? Not having an opinion. So this game forces you to what?
Have an opinion.
Have an opinion. You can't be your usual what?
Undecisive self.
Undecisive stuff where you don't want to choose anything. Even as I was asking you between 40 and 42, you're saying, I don't know. You didn't want to give a straight answer, right?
It
This
wasn't
game
a
goes to-
straight answer. I didn't understand the significance.
So, what do you want to say, and don't pick it? I want to hear your thought process.
What exactly is treatment?
Interfering with the body's position always post-mortem.
Okay.
They have to have incapacitated carrying no longer. This man was more than match for trained doctors.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a hope for pre-glorious rights. It takes 2 seconds to perform.
So, what is he doing?
Huh?
What? Didn't you just read what he did?
I didn't understand it.
It's the
He
stations of the breath.
places his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation. I don't know what the stations of breath are.
Well, it just said what it is. So that means he's like giving it the what do you call it? You know, when like you do
The sign of the cross?
no, but what is it when priests do the prayer over people who passed away?
I don't know. You're the Catholic.
Yeah, but I'm not a priest.
Well, neither am I.
So the fact that
It's
he
the
did,
sign of the cross.
I don't know if it's different when someone passes away, but let's go with he did the sign of the cross, which means that he's religious.
Somewhere in General North, a small ship behind Rosencrantz Road, Lieutenant Nick Foyer puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than morning. It's raining inside, like drizzle. There is darkness in the shed.
What?
Hmm.
Who is Nick Feuerbach?
Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach. That's the boss.
Elliot, an obese female, sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette all white against the window. Outside, Grand Huron, the days turn dim for Sergeant Matt Wilson. Hand extended, he approaches to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across General, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
Okay, so that's something that a cop does over someone who's passed away.
To make
Or
sure
religious
they're
people.
actually dead?
To make sure she is dead more than anything else. And it's called stations of breath.
What?
So is that
Touching
like-
the chest to make sure it rises and falls?
Maybe, but they said it's religious as well. So let's go.
We should start with post-mortem.
So is that
The corpse cannot feel his hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes lit on red copy paper tries to answer why.
Okay, so let's see our options here.
Huh.
We have 1, external examination summary, 2, internal examination summary, 3, description of injury summary. I guess with this case we should start one at a time, right?
Okay.
So let's start with 1 and let's see what we get.
Close. The disease was armor boots and briefs. The make of the briefs is about body mass. Let's see.
Ba, ba, ba.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size and color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red thing was expecting something more lurid.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous and enamel. They are fused with skin, blood flowing down walls post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. The boot has a serial number. It's E50. One below. One triple. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by design. Tattoos.
Okay.
The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case file as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using the trigger mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good.
And see what happened? You listened to our number correction on him?
Yeah. Below freezing.
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern bone mass. Hair is compact, short.
Hold on. Wait.
Why you want to touch the corpse's hair?
Why is there an option to touch his hair?
I don't
Unless
know.
he has a tattoo on his head. Touch the corpse hair before moving on. There.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after swim.
Stroke his hair gently.
Gross.
I feel like we're gonna get points.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand like thread of a red bull's head.
Oh, now you've done it. Why?
More hair sticks to your hand. Hair of the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below. An alien landscape. There, dead man. You were someone's child. It's all over me.
Say there, baby. We're looking for the points.
The lieutenant watches you in silence.
Okay, now write it down.
That was some sick shit, Papa.
Remember, do you want to be the boring cop or a super cop who has empathy?
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stone control. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking mass. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
Predation.
Wait, It says, but amend for high velocity. What do you want to do? Do you want to amend?
Why
You
do
think
we
if we
amend?
Huh? Because Kuno is saying that he was throwing the rock super hard, and he said it was low velocity. Do we get points with Kuno if we change it to high velocity? And then that'll help Kuno with his father or something?
I don't freaking care about Kuno.
Yeah, but we need him to progress, right?
It says contusions are present on the head, chest, thighs, consistent with stone thrown. Low velocity.
So let's say write down, but I meant for high velocity. Because we want Kuno to...
You get your mark.
The attempt produces a small folding knife, with the other hand pulling on the belt and starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut, so it's a super material.
You didn't write down about the predation.
Still worried. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature.
You got just the right tool then. The chain.
Yes, imagine if we hadn't gone to get that before we did the autopsy. We wouldn't have been able to take it off, right?
I guess so.
So this is why it's important to like investigate and see stuff, because we don't know what we're gonna get, right? So
Always
what did you select?
Now. We need to cut the belt to see the ligature below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
Precision.
See, my fingers gonna fuck his head up. No, he ain't. You pixie boy. Fuck.
Hold on. Look what we got down below. Scroll down. We're not going to hit that, and there's no saving before this, so there's no point in even attempting it. Do you agree with that?
Then what do you want me to go for? Look for a good spot to cut?
Your pigs, I'm not sure. Yeah, just look for a good, because do you want to intimidate him?
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread, rising from the east.
Is that a visual?
You are? You're Kuno's pig.
Are they gonna... Fuck!
A stupid argument with Kuno?
There's no getting out of this. Physical instrument 2. Press square. We have 3 skill points. What's my physical instrument right now?
2.
Well, I think if we're to put 2 into that, it'll probably only bring it up to 25 or 30%, which means we're still probably going to fail it. So we might as well fail it, because bringing it up right now isn't going to do enough to fail it. And we can't reload because we're already in the thing. There's no leave option and then pump it up and then do it, right? So press circle. Do you feel lucky? Oh!
Simply cut into the whole tiny belt together.
Give me high! Oh. That was 17%. Do you feel good? Hold on. You remember how many times I tried the 30% thing?
Yeah, and you sucked.
And then with this one it was 17. So how do you feel?
I guess pretty lucky.
Yeah? Did you get scared when I yelled?
No, because that's what you always do when you win.
Yeah? And how did you feel?
Meh.
Meh?
Meh.
Why meh?
Snap. The moment is flashed. Another cut in the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
Why do we need another ligature mark? Is it possible that he wasn't killed with that and they use that to hide it?
It's possible.
Let's see.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. Suspension point is in the back of the neck.
No, that confirms that
Didn't you
he
take a
was
class
hung.
on this?
Yeah.
Well, let them know. So people know what's going on.
I'm trying to remember if the ligature mark is consistent with hanging, the mark is actually higher up on the neck, going to the back of the head where it says leaving a gap.
And let people know why you would know that information.
But with someone who's being strangled by someone else, it's much lower, and thus the hyoid bone is damaged.
Okay, and let people know why you would know that.
Because I've studied it for school.
Okay, so what's the situation here? What does this mean?
Well, he's confirming it's
suspension
a
point is in the back of the
ligature
neck.
mark is due to
Didn't
hanging.
you say that it wouldn't be there if the person is hanged?
Sorry, say that again?
He's saying the suspension point is in the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Didn't you say if the person was hanged, they wouldn't be there?
If it's hung up like this, it goes up your neck, and it stops there, that's consistent with hanging.
So he was hanged? It wasn't like a hide thing?
Well, they haven't found anything else to determine otherwise.
So let people know that you're a forensic expert.
I'm not a forensic expert. It's just from a class I took.
A forensics class?
Yes?
Okay, so you should know this. Okay, hold on.
I'm arranging it observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
Is that true?
Mm.
Okay, this is your time to shine. Remember, I told you that you had autopsy experience that I don't have. So I can't
Is
know if...
observed on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because remember I told you I'm good at investigating, but I don't know autopsies?
Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protubérant. Pelvis is intact. Genitalia.
No! Get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is made and remarkable. No evidence of injury.
Okay, hold on. You want to inspect the genitals and get a rise out of them potentially, or do you want to just move it down?
Why do we need to inspect the genitals?
Well, why are you given the option unless something happens if you inspect them? If it wasn't, it would just say write it down and move on, right? So the question you always have to ask is, why do I have the option?
To fuel their fire.
Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to see how they react and see if we get points off of them so we can level up more?
The dead man's penis is average sized, congested from downward collection blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
What does that mean, marbling?
Marbling? You know what? It's like different colors.
Okay, I guess write it down and move on. Let's see if we get points.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower strings are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries in right hand, thigh, and hip.
Combat injuries.
He was fighting.
Okay. So
On
does
the
that
hand, thigh, and hip. So maybe
So that means he went down fighting?
he might have went down fighting.
In addition, I see smaller residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
What? How can someone have residual scars covering 30% of his skin?
Is he a cutter? Smaller residual scars.
Covering about 30%. You can't get that from like bumps and bruises, right?
From wounds sustained to maybe more decades, this versatile accumulation indicates long active combat duty.
You see? Press number 1. It's way more. What's going on?
We have a real museum here. Battles, wars. Last item. Hands.
Pick up the hand.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from? What's your name?
Let's
I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Elysium. What can I do you for? Elysium, Cappadocia.
Let's see. It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair?
I did, Coco. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy. Before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. Wish I should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from stroking.
You see how that conversation only happened because we stroked his hair before? When you were like, oh, why am I doing this? But then what happened? He responded to that, right?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing that. Honestly, this tension is making it hard for me to think about it. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Wait, he's freaking out? I guess let's go to number 2.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything in this central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Yeah, the conceptualization is saying there is.
What would that be?
The dead man looks to with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of the story.
I think that we will be the moral of every story, officer.
Wait, I don't understand what happened.
Good.
Hold on.
Miss Skeleton. Purge fluid is coming from the north. Not injury related. Eyes on protuberant. Higher above. Let's see.
Well, the brain is very vulnerable to compromises on its blood supply. That's true, right? If you start to lose blood.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. A rotten smell erupts from her mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
What does that mean?
What?
What he's doing?
He's feeling the hyoid bone
Why?
to see if it was broken. Consistent with strangling.
The bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact and remarkable.
So what does that mean that it's fractured?
That's common in strangling cases.
Does that mean it happened when he got hung, or
It's
did someone
possible.
strangle him? Because we need if we could use this information against someone, saying like, we know for a fact you strangled him because his hyoid bone was fractured. We need to remember this information. It's for an investigation. You know, have you heard of the Ace Attorney games? And that you needed to build a case and then convict someone in court, so you need to remember the evidence.
Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental wounds, possibly of gunshot. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in both the lips and mouth.
Is that what a...
It looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid ripped from the force of the beams in his head.
Look inside the dead man's mouth.
No scream, no sign of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's you there, sickly sweet, unlike anything living. You feel like throwing up, straight in that mouth.
Look deeper inside.
It's hard. You taste stomach acid in the back of your throat, a contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness, just a mess of meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Fuck, hold on. Okay. We took damage, but now, has Inland Empire ever been wrong? Even when it warned us about something, it turned out bad because we kept going further, right?
Yes.
So the fact that Inland Empire is like all caps yelling, there are ancient mysteries down there, Capo, ask me later. Does that mean he potentially ingested something and it's in his stomach?
Maybe.
Hemorrhaging present in users. Hepatobiliary, NA.
What is that?
Hepatobiliary.
Mm-hmm.
That's the liver and gallbladder.
Okay, and let people in the chat know, why do you know that?
I'm not gonna be telling them all this stuff. Why?
All your personal stuff?
All my personal stuff?
She's a brain surgeon!
No, I'm not.
Okay. Wait. Why? Don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Same for toxicology, serology, and
Right, both?
unless you have intense reservoirs, no knowledge there.
I thought they were doing an internal exam.
Well, he's basically saying, I don't know, so I'm just gonna put whatever, right?
Reservoirs. No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
Let's see. The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could still do.
Like a toxicology screening. At this stage, I doubt the process will find anything, even if it was brain was cocaine. But still, you should have a request.
Yes, request it. Look at that.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits high liquidity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging.
Remember what the father does? He traffics drugs. If we find out that this guy took drugs from the father who's trafficking drugs, that's going to tie everything together. Remember what happened in Autotaxi? Everything was connected together. Why would we be doing all this unless it's all connected? If the father is doing the drug smuggling and the son is helping, and we find out he was taking drugs, and we find out that the dock workers beat him up, maybe there's some kind of drug connection in all this. And so we need to find out if he was on drugs to see if he did drug smuggling on the side. And the fact that Inland Empire said there is a secret down in there, ask me about it later, means what? Something, he ingested something. That's what my mind picks up. What do you think about that?
Okay.
Is it wrong, correct, or possible?
Yes,
or
possible.
Not? Okay.
It could be a drug trafficking ring.
Gastrointestinal.
This is
Digested semi-solid food in the stomach. Voilà.
Wait.
What's next on the list?
You didn't write, I want to say the voila.
Why?
I don't know. To be fun. Because that's what the drama was telling us.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contribution and actions, and the ligature mark in some sort of name. You'll need three fields. Leave a fourth one.
So start with the bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp, bite mark injuries. Predation has caused damage to the body. Odontology does not need to be consulted.
Okay.
From birds? Like what? Crows?
Probably. Hold on.
Your opinion, officer?
So this all happened post-mortem is what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Slow down.
So the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury did not have the root of an early inflammatory response. Perpetrator is suspected causing post-mortem.
Is that true? That a
He's
person's
talking
alive?
about Kuno hitting him with a rock.
No, but it said the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury. Does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. Does that mean if someone...
That means it didn't happen when he was alive.
Yeah, so you're saying when you're alive, you receive an injury, it gets red on the outside?
Yeah.
Has confessed to causing maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to the scalp and chest, where the cancer stones hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, two boxes.
Right. Next.
So I'm saying with all this stuff, now he believes we're a good detective.
And some certain neck. The gap on the nape measuring 7 centimeters. The higher bone was fractured. The cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark 1 centimeter. No signs of flowing on the neck.
Okay.
Below the note, two custom locks wait to be tipped. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Wait.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much. It leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
How did it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's too cold for an autopsy.
Is that true?
Yeah.
We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I'm not on my breath. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What therefore, given the circumstances, it was a professional autopsy.
Okay.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive you to Fallbrook for processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something? You tilt your head, also looking on course.
Something's missing. Hold on. You gotta slow down. Why?
I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Okay, hold on. Oh, fuck. The fact that we established a probable cause is subtracting us. The fact that we said stop wasting time, you're smart. There is something else going on here. Scroll down. No. I want to try something. Give me this. What if we miss something? They're all saying we missed something. So, there we go. At the autopsy, you said you have ancient mysteries.
Yes, go me low. And then give horses mouth. Tracks and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried.
Don't worry, brother.
Just a small go away. Mommy love it go. A small go away.
Could he have swallowed something to hide it from the people who are attacking him?
Maybe.
Shit.
Come back later, Coco.
Oh!
Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features.
Look in the mouth!
Possible. Also.
It's a white check so you can do it again.
You're right. We got a -1 from establishing a probable cause because we said that the neck thing is what caused the death. We got a -1 for stop wasting time. You're smart because what we took too long on the by being thorough.
Maybe.
I want to leave. I want to save, right? So, how lucky do you feel? You did it 3% before, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, remember?
No, what?
It was way early on. You hit it 3%. You remember we were, remember you had to look at the body without throwing up? And it was 3%? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
You remember the very beginning when we examined the body, it was 3%? And I started to yell?
Okay.
That was like a big deal. Remember, I was like, oh, 3%.
Okay.
And I'm like, this changes everything. So what do I need to level up?
The man is decomposing. Every hour he looks less like a creature and more like a pile of intestines.
Shoot, no. Come back later, Coco.
Perception.
Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also see your dreams.
What are you gonna do? Level up?
Well, it went down to 8. You feeling lucky? Give it a shot. Do you feel like you could get it? Do it.
Run your hands over the victim's whole body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Look under his fingernails.
His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them. That's all. You can't shake the feeling that there are secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Press number 2.
Okay, well, we are in the middle of atmosphere. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Number 2, a fridge.
Hey, wasn't there a giant iceberg sarcophagus below the building?
Go to number 2.
It's
Not
not
true.
plugged in.
Yes, it is.
We unplugged it, I thought.
No, we unplugged the other one, the small box.
Yes.
Now,
I've
really
really
been
been disappointed by the size of a giant iceberg fridge. But I think we should still take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before carrying on.
Press X.
Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for, the deceased will become harder to find.
Okay, go to the body again. If we could hit the check now, we're gonna be super
The
powerful
man is decomposing this man.
every hour. Go to square. Go to perception. Increase it again. Just one. Press square. Now give it another shot. What are we
It's
at?
locked.
Oh fuck, look what it says. Search the body one more time. Thoroughly. Gonna leave. Get back in there. We leveled up, so it should give us the opening.
The man is decomposing.
Press X. So this says one more time, which means you're not going to get another shot. Press square. We're going to hit this to maximum just to see what happens. Go to perception. Click it. Click it again. Press square. Let's see what it tells us. That's not bad. That's not bad.
You really want to wait until everything is refrigerated. Digging around this business now is proof of hopelessness.
Okay. So, leave. Just leave. Leave, leave. Okay. So, what if putting him inside the refrigerator increases our chances more?
We should think about putting it in there maybe. Nice system is very close to this time of year.
Here, give me this. So, I'll load game. I'll load it here. So, what do you think about what we just found out about the refrigerator? That we could put him in there.
Well, it's good that we found it earlier.
What happened if we hadn't gone up there and found the refrigerator? So that means we could keep him there, increase our perception. But you know what I also want to do right now?
What?
I want to bump up my perception to maximum and try again. With 2 dots at the maximum. So we're going to get 2 shots at 40%. Because what if this breaks the case wide open and we pull out a secret gun or something?
A gun inside him?
Yeah, they stuffed a gun inside of him to hide the murder weapon.
There's no bullet wounds.
Yeah, because they shot it directly down his mouth. Like this. Ha!
That's dumb. You can't do that.
Can't do that?
Especially with the trajectory.
Okay. Let's do this.
You had it up to 7.
I know I'm doing 1.
The man is...
We're gonna do... See, right now it's at 17.
You run your hands over the victim's whole body. His lips.
There's
His
fingernail.
fingernail. Conscious.
Do you think we missed something?
Yes, there's something we're not seeing.
Okay, well,
We are
in Levon.
A fridge.
Hey,
See?
wasn't there a giant iceberg sarcophagus below the building?
So that's what the ice bear shaped fridge is for.
No, that's another statement. It's not actually forced during cadavers, or at least I hope so. I think we should take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over. Let's move. With every...
Okay, so now,
Now he wants to call it a night.
Man is decomposing.
right, and it's calling out a night because of the time that's passing by his neighbor.
Yeah.
We go here, and then we go pop, pop. And then we have to leave to open them up. Go to the body.
The man
42, it's almost 50%.
Your arms reach out to rise
Oh!
as if by the volition. It's dark grey. You feel cold slip through flesh. First with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
Here we go. What did I fucking tell you?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Crawl up his nostrils.
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
Do it.
Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you walk in, searching for something in the cartilage.
The fuck is he doing?
The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
In his mouth.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Inland Empire always knows. Play with it.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
Do it.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and stabbed with the teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost no larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius. The edges is dark.
He got shot in his fucking mouth. What does that mean?
This is what we're after.
Didn't I just say, what if they put a gun in his mouth and shot it and try to hide it?
I don't know what an abrasion collar is.
You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye, a swollen shut, almost vanished, and the larger the edges appear darkened.
So where's the exit wound?
Probably down his ass, or the bullet got stuck in there. So what do you want to say? Abrasion collar.
Abrasion.
Kuno is silent. A black trickling liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tongue of flesh comes up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for two fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
See, it didn't go down, it went up.
It went up.
What the fuck is happening? Oh, shit, see?
Hold on. They hung him to hide the fact that they shot him? But why?
But where's the exit wound?
Scroll up. Scroll up. Abrasion collar. Remember how when you said you clicked and you gave the cause of death as the hanging without questioning it, and because you didn't question it, you couldn't investigate further in his mouth?
Yes.
Because you assumed that what?
He was hanged?
He was hanged. And then what did I say? What if someone took a gun and shot him in the mouth? Right? And you said what? That's what?
What did I say?
You said that's stupid.
Because there was no sign of it.
But what was I thinking?
You think they're using the hanging to cover up.
Right. But why did I think that to begin with?
I don't know. Why did you think that?
Because they said there's ancient mysteries inside his mouth. So I'm like, what? He swallowed something and it's in his stomach. There's something he's hiding in his mouth before he got killed. But no, what he's hiding is the way he actually got killed. So, feel around first.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex.
The bullet lodged in his brain.
Never will. Your fingers slide into the remains of his immune system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tear extends deep into both hemispheres. The undulations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet.
There's a cavity cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity.
Quivering with awe.
They're freaking out. That means they know what happened, and the fact that they're quiet and not like complaining anymore means that she did it.
All the way in now, reaching toward the inside of the skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
We're going.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger.
Bullet!
Serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin.
Hold on. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? I feel a solid object right under. Hold on. Let's get some more points. Inspect it first.
There's a tiny crack. A protrusion in the cranium. Right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it from the inside. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull in the encephalitis, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
Okay, stop. Where was the exit wound?
There isn't one.
There isn't one because it got stuck in his what?
Brain.
So someone took a gun in his mouth, shot up, killed him, it got stuck in him, they took him, and then they hung him to make it seem like he was hung. So why would someone hide a murder with a hanging instead of the fact that they got shot?
I don't know because
either way you killed them, but why would you want to? Is it because the gun means an individual killed them, where a hanging means a possible crowd like took him out and you could hide within the crowd?
it might have been a suicide.
You think it might have been? If someone takes a gun like that and they kill him, and then in order to hide it they hang him to make it seem like he didn't commit suicide?
Never mind, that seems stupid.
Well, but this maybe, is there an honor thing where
I'm just thinking of the trajectory of it. When you're pointing, the only way
like this? Where do they find
you
the
would
hole?
have to flip the gun upside down in order for it to get up that
So
high.
instead of going like this, you'd have to go like this.
You'd have
like
to flip
this.
it up.
And does that mean someone would have to help him pull the trigger?
Maybe someone else was pulling the trigger. I don't know.
Okay, so what do you think from what we just did compared to a bit ago when you were saying, no, it's dumb, no one stuck a gun in his mouth? So how have your perceptions changed since then? Now remember, I did this on a hunch. I said, I don't want to put him in the fridge. I want to find what we're missing. So how often do my hunches turn out correct?
Your hunches are always correct.
But why?
I don't know. Because you're fucking superpowers.
But give me 5. We're doing it. You helped me by being able to what? Cut the rope open, which are 17%, right?
We have been making very small exits.
Forget about that fucking exit wound, Beano. The pig is wearing like a puppet.
So let's see if we got more points. Scroll down. Don't select anything. I just want to see. Yeah! Look at that. 83. Okay, now scroll up. Tell them what you feel.
Can you get to?
Scroll. Wait. Scroll up. Let's go! Okay, click.
What do you mean click?
The object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like magnet. With your face twisted from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just
say whisper.
My big fucking got it.
What is it?
What did that say?
We're getting more power because of how
Breakthrough is
thorough.
imminent? What does that mean?
the inside of the head feels cold and smooth like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful to lose the prize between your fingers.
Hold on. So we just blew this shit wide open because it was initially 3%, right? We were gonna put him in the fridge to investigate and do stuff later on a supposed hanging, but instead we used the points we had saved up to do a what? Basically a Hail Mary to try to get that 3% up.
Yeah.
And we succeeded, and now what? We saw the thing that's green. It's like, ooh, like we're killing it right now. Were we supposed to figure this out now?
Your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between the fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
The impact.
Beautiful.
A bullet.
They fucking killed this.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a center of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
Unknown caliber. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on the back.
Hold on. This is evidence. Is anyone supposed to keep it?
Mm-mm.
Does this mean to like submit it as evidence? Or does this mean like, are they actually gonna like, is there even a submittal of evidence? Is that a thing here?
I don't know.
What if we hold on to the bullet and we're like super bullet powers? Ask if you can have it. I want to see what happens.
Of course. You'll find it.
Look at that. We got a super bullet.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Overland entry wall with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small excision on the occiput. How does that sound?
What do you want to say? Sounds like heaven. We don't want to be boring. We got to be super.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Hold on. We're going to change. Are we changing the cause of death from hanging to the cause of death being the gunshot? Does the other evidence from the hanging, how do we know which one caused which? Can he be shot, still be alive, and then put the hang and then the
Shot
hanging
in the
kills him?
head and still be alive?
Why is it that the hanging stuff caused all the blood to coagulate? Remember they were saying that
Because
he's already
that's
dead.
what happens when you are hanged.
So being hanged either way doesn't mean that you were hanged alive or hanged dead. There's
If
a
you
difference.
were hanged shortly after dying, you'd still get
It
that.
still would look like you were hung alive.
Yeah.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
Yeah, hold on for a sec.
he's proposing what if was real cause of death, and the hand attempted to see this.
That's what I was saying. The ligament mark, the fractured thigh bone, it was all treatment.
Yes. And the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead. I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not marching? There is no satisfactory explanation.
Hold it.
There have been other signs too. Small detail. Everything is too neatly designed for a suicide protocol here, as we did full-heartedly. Well, no more.
Secret task complete. Find the bullet before you got fooled. Secret task.
Almost fell for it.
Hold on.
Almost.
If there was a secret task and we solved this. So the idea was we would have gotten fooled. We would have proceeded on the assumption that he got hung, and we would have committed the entire investigation on the idea that what? A group of people hung him? Now what's the actual investigation?
I mean, it's still a murder.
No, it's different. You know what it means now?
What?
He was killed, and then a group of people tried to cover up the murder. It's not just that a group of people killed him. You know, it's not like people joining in on a hanging. It's that he was dead and everyone involved tried to cover it up to make it look like a crowd of people hung him. So, this is insane. So, you know what this means? We solved this in a way that most people didn't solve this. Because this means that most people got fooled and thought it was a hanging, right?
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
So now, we committed a superpower, secret task complete, find a bullet before you get fooled. We almost fell for it. You see, that's why he was singing like, are we missing something? Press X. How do you feel first? Give me your hand.
There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
That's what I was asking you. How do we know that one wasn't done to cover up the other?
Maybe they just shot him while they hanged him.
That's what I'm saying. Could he have been shot and then hanged, or could he be hanged and then shot?
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so let's think about this. How can we solve this right now? Maybe the bullet holds more answers? What should we say here? Wait.
Yes. We should take it
I
to
said wait.
I am certain it has more to tell us.
This is the thing that will reveal much about our relationship.
Okay. So if I'm pointing, I'm saying wait. We gotta think. We don't necessarily have the ability to select all of these, because something might happen to interrupt us. So in a case like this, where we're up against time, we wanna see which answer to select in case we don't get all of our questions answered. Does that make sense? You see now why I'm saying don't keep pressing X so fast? We gotta think about this.
Fine.
If we had pressed it fast, would we ever have followed the bullet? Or would it have just been bag the body, we're done? How are you feeling?
Tired.
Okay, well let people know what you're thinking.
I'm not thinking much
Why?
because it's getting late and I need to go to bed.
Okay, who would do this?
That's
That's
for
for
us
us to find out.
But this, it will be finding them just a little easier.
Why would anyone do this?
To hide something.
something.
The real killer, the real motivation, what's really happening here.
They shot him while they hanged them.
To put
To
him
put him
out of his misery?
it's
It's possible,
possible.
but
It
it
doesn't
explain
explain
all
all
the other
obvious
things
things here.
like
Like
the
the
struggle.
struggle primarily.
I
I
may
may
be
be
intellectually
intellectually
sloppy,
sloppy,
but I
but I
prefer
prefer
one
one
theory
theory
at
at
a
a
time.
time.
And
And
it's
it's
just
just
as
as
much
much
for
for
treatment.
treatment to me.
Didn't even wash myself.
Oh, you
really do.
I am glad to hear you say that. Your
Your
room in the
whirling
whirling
around
around
should
come
come
with
with
bathroom.
bathroom.
Be sure
to
to
make use of it.
Scroll down. What happens next?
We put him in a bag and carry him to the holding pen of Kimina. The body bag should contain the odor for the duration of the transport. I
I
will
would
drive
him
him to process it, but it's too late to do that today. I'll do it first thing tomorrow. No problem. One
One
more
more thing.
This
This
was
was
really
really
good
good
work,
work,
detective.
Hold on. Here, I want you to accidentally press X. Because right now you're losing your what? Ability to what?
No, I'm getting cold.
Okay, but do you see why it's important not to select? Let's drag him into the kinema. You're finished with the corpse.
All right.
I will need you to help carrying him. You take the hands, I take the legs.
Okay, give me 5. We hit all the difficult things, and we solved it. So do you see how much thing it is required to like not jump the gun?
Yeah.
So what if I had just become like whatever and just said, okay, let's just put it in the ice truck. Let's put it in the bear fridge. We would not have gone this, right? What happened if we wouldn't have shot the body down with the bullet? And we had Austin Union to help us first. The Union's the one that supposedly hung him, right?
Yeah.
And now we found not only did they hang him, but they try to cover it up. So do you see why all those really important things were necessary?
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna fucking hit. Yeah.
You want to save it.
I'm trying to.
It won't let you?
No.
Oh. Well, then I guess you gotta continue.
That's fucked. Hold on. All motorists learning capacity raised by 1. 20% zoom out distance. Read it. Allow, so we know what it says.
And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as you rise above the dollhouse world. You see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop, on the corner, and finally in a matchbox house, sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white morning, a modern death, divorce, or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him. Make him smaller, make him less you.
Next one we got here is Ace's High +1 empathy towards Kim. Research time 2 hours and 45 minutes. Read what it says.
The Insulindian Civil War was not the first war to see the use of aerostatic aircraft on both sides, but it was the longest. For 8 years, folded multi-rotor aircraft crisscrossed the air above Revachol, Ozone, Face à la Mer, and the Arcade Islands. They made sweeps over sandy beaches and shot each other out of the blue sky, then sank as wrecks to the bottom of the sea. The Aces High was a custom of the revolutionary side, performed by squadron mates after landing. Lieutenant Kirsharagi's likes it. Why is it?
There, you see, I just gave myself the power.
Okay, well, I need to go to bed now.
Okay. We gotta go through the stuff that we got here.
Well,
so now that we got this, we can put back on the gloves, right? To give us interfacing. And we could interact with the fracture bullet. Transferable jacket.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RC2 stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location where it was found. Beside the sporting handwriting, the bullet was especially set, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
What do I do with you, bullet?
What?
I said, what do I do with you, bullet?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, find a weapon to shot you. If we find our own things, we will have likely found use it, possibly to kill our victim.
Need task, find a murder weapon.
In conclusion, the more we know about the bullet, the better.
The squash bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket is split open. It feels cold, even through the bag. You wouldn't ordinarily have caused the hand jacket bullets. The citizen's militia uses castle bullets only. Little pebbles or metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge.
So that means that's not the bullet that was fired.
The jacket of the bullet is made of yellowish metal. It is glossed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
Look at the jacket.
You can just about make a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard. It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's a jacketed bullet close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade weight-loaded rifle. Not from a revolver. Those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
It says the bullet came from a rifle, which wouldn't have even been a small gun.
Highly unusual. The people of the rebel show haven't carried breach-loading weapons like this for nearly half a century.
Even the arsenal uses also unjacketed chemical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this. Strange means unique means incriminating. We need to find out what shot it.
Something tells me we won't anytime soon. This will have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
Whoa! That's a 97%. +4, have similar rifle on hand. +1, aware of the name of the antique rifle you found. +1, Encyclopedia said this came from a breech loader. This is supposed to be extremely hard, but I have a 97% chance on this thing. Fuck it, hit it. Yes.
Revolutionary era. Your bullet looks to be old 4.46 millimeter. From the surface, open for the turn of the century. Probably an anti or retrofitted anti.
Make
4.46 caliber, widely used for Belmont rifle, a Revacholian military. The BB dominated battlefields in Elysium theatre of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dust is the only thing you found hidden in the basement of the local
Look at this.
area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Is anyone still making? So this thing, did you hear him say that this is going to take a really long time to solve? I looked at the percentage chance, and the percentage chance said 97%. It gave us bonuses for everything we've done. It gave us bonuses for the fact that we found the rifle. It gave us bonuses for the fact we found the bullet. It gave us bonuses for hand-eye coordination. It gave us bonus for perception. It gave us bonus for encyclopedia, because our encyclopedia was high enough to identify the type of gun it was used. So they literally said it's going to take a while to solve this, and I just solved this right now.
No, but Ziga made the firearm manufacturer ended its service after the war. So
I still can't save.
old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was
Who uses Bell McGray rifle these days?
antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few jam bangers. You're looking for the same thing found back in the Westminster, only in a working order.
What are you thinking?
Bullet?
I think I know where this came from.
Okay. And?
Probably shot from a Bell Margrave rifle.
An antique. That makes sense. They can't be made children rifles to run around or anywhere in the nation. Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of which laws we inherited from the monarchy have been affected from what I've seen. Some Warsian recruits getting patient with the Muslims once they've trained with military equipment, but they realize it's worth it in the end. Prohibiting these kind of forces to fund human rights is a policy enforced by the moralist international in all the nations of the reality belt.
Front-loading rifles. It makes you consider every shot.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms and could shoot multiple rounds at once continually. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier.
So there we go. Gun violence. Shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. Jen, did you hear what that said? It's talking about guns having automatic shooting capabilities. They're saying that policemen are forced to use guns that has a muzzle loader, which means after every round you shoot, you gotta pack it in and do that. And that they did that on purpose. Read what it says here. Read what Encyclopedia has to say. Read it. And look what he's saying. Basically saying they're limiting officers to one shot because you have to think about every time you're going to pull the trigger. What do you think if we apply that to now?
Yeah, because there's some places in the country that have to ask to be able to shoot in situations.
Then how are the cops now? Or they shoot a guy like 20 times.
Well, that's in the U.S. I don't know if it's like that in other countries.
Well, how is it in the
Not
UK?
in the U.S.
How is it in the UK?
They always have to ask permission to shoot.
And don't normal police not carry guns at all?
Detectives normally don't carry guns in the UK.
What was that?
But this isn't even the UK.
Right, but what was the show we were watching where they couldn't shoot the guy because they didn't have any guns? That drug show? Where the cops were like, he was addicted to drugs? And they had something to do with like, pills making people crazy? Remember there was a giant pill Jesus that he topples at the end?
No. What show is that?
That's a detective show that had the lady from Game of Thrones in it. The main detective had like a pill problem.
Oh.
Remember they were chasing the guy and they didn't have a gun? When he pulled the gun at him and they were like, ah.
I don't remember that. That was a while ago.
But you remember the show, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But back to the investigation. Mysterious. Okay. Either way, we'll know when we find out.
Nice. Nice.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing Elysium's name.
Okay. Let's see. We got our fucking perception up to 7. Hear, see, hear, and smell everything. Let no detail go unnoticed. So this was a breakthrough in the case. Getting our perception high enough to just solve everything. So perception, I will notice everything. Nothing's gonna sneak up on me. Then I got my visual calculus up there and conceptualization. And my Inland Empire at 7. I have no more points, but I used them all in a good way, I think, to get far in that. Base skill, learn skill, signature skill, +2 from items. So that was actually super good. We got the stuff equipped that we want. We got our items. Then we go. We need to wash off death smell. We need to find the murder weapon. See Superstore Cop 3, Apocalypse Cop 1, Story Cop 2, Boring Cop 3. Communist, Fascist, Moralist, Good Cop, Bad Cop, Honor. Hidden. Map. Policeman cloak. These appear locked. And these I have not attempted. Can I save now? There we go, thank you. Save over this old save here. Okay, and before we talk to Kim, we're gonna call it a day for now, and that's it. Also add it to my quick save.